Your success is not a trophy. It is a cage, and you are holding the key, terrified to use it. You did everything right, didn't you? You got the job. You bought the house. You followed the script. So why do you want to scream? Why does your life feel like a gray waiting room? You have been told that if you are unhappy, you just need more. More money, more vacations, more success. That is a lie. You are not hungry for more. You are starving for real. Carl Jung called this condition the unlived life, and he warned that it is the most expensive disease of the human soul. This is not a video about finding happiness. It is a diagnosis of your spiritual death. You are about to learn why you feel empty, even though you have everything, and how to finally start living. You are suffering from a specific modern neurosis. Jung called it the provisional life. It is the feeling that your real life has not yet begun, that everything you are doing now, your career, your relationships, your routine, is just a dress rehearsal. You are waiting for permission, waiting for enough money, waiting to feel ready. But while you wait, a part of you is dying. The emptiness you feel is not an absence. It is a presence. It is the ghost of the person you were meant to be, haunting the person you have become. You traded your soul for safety. You traded your wildness for a pension plan. And now the bill has come due. And the worst part? You call this arrangement being responsible. Today, we confront the ghost. We will move through 3 stages of this operation. First, the betrayal, how you murdered your own potential. Second, the symptom, why your anxiety is actually your cure. Third, the resurrection, how to reclaim the life you abandoned. Let's go back to the crime scene. Somewhere in your past, usually in adolescence or early adulthood, you made a deal. You faced a choice between what your soul wanted: art, adventure, truth, and what your ego wanted: safety, approval, status. You chose the ego. You buried your true interests. You called them childish. You called them impractical. You built a persona, a mask of competence and normalcy, and you fused with it. Now you have everything the mask wanted, but the person behind the mask is starving. The emptiness is the hunger of the self. It is the realization that you have climbed to the top of the ladder, only to find it is leaning against the wrong wall. Consider Thomas. As a boy, he loved to write. He saw stories everywhere, but his father told him, "Writers starve. Be an accountant." Thomas wanted to be safe, so he became an accountant. He is brilliant at it. He is a partner in his firm. He has a beautiful house, but every morning he wakes up with a leaden weight in his chest. He drinks too much wine at night to silence the voice that whispers, "This is not your life." He thinks he is depressed. He is not. He is grieving. He is grieving the death of the writer he killed to survive. You must perform the archaeology of passion. Go back. Look at what you loved before the world told you what to love. What did you do for hours as a child? What subjects do you secretly read about when no one is looking? Write them down. Do not judge them. Do not ask, how can I make money from this? Just acknowledge them. You are finding the pulse of the patient. The greatest burden a child must bear is the unlived life of its parents. Carl Jung. Do not let your unlived life become your children's burden, or your own grave. Here is what no one admits. Most people never reclaim their unlived life, not because they can't, but because comfort feels safer than truth. This is the twist. You think your anxiety, your boredom, your midlife crisis is the problem. You are trying to medicate it, distract yourself from it, fix it. You are wrong. Your pain is not the disease. Your pain is the cure. Your neurosis is your soul's immune system fighting back. It is screaming at you because you are living a lie. If you were happy in your cage, you would be lost forever. The fact that you are miserable is the only proof that you are still alive. The pain is a messenger. It is banging on the door, trying to tell you that the house is on fire. The emptiness is not a void to be filled with more stuff. It is a space that has been cleared for something new to be born. But you are terrified of this birth because it requires the death of who you think you are. Sarah has a panic attack on her way to her high-paying corporate job. She goes to a doctor. She gets pills. She treats the panic as a biological glitch. She suppresses the symptom and goes back to work. 2 years later, her body collapses with an autoimmune disease. Her soul, silenced by pills, found a louder way to speak. If she had listened to the panic, she would have realized it was saying, "Get out. This place is killing you." She treated the messenger as the enemy. You must practice listening to the symptom. The next time you feel that wave of emptiness or anxiety, do not reach for your phone. Do not pour a drink. Sit with it. Ask it a question. What are you trying to stop me from doing? Or what do you want me to do? The answer will be irrational. It might be quit. It might be paint. It might be leave him. Do not act on it yet. Just hear it. Validate the messenger. You have identified the betrayal. You have learned to see your pain as a guide. Now we come to the hardest part, the part that requires courage you think you don't have. We must begin the resurrection. How do you escape the provisional life? You do not do it by blowing up your life tomorrow. That is the ego-seeking drama. You do it by introducing the symbolic life into your practical life. You have lived for logic, for utility, for what makes sense. To heal, you must start doing things that make no sense to your ego, but perfect sense to your soul. You must engage in acts of creation, of risk, of useless beauty. This is the process of individuation. It is the shift from being a good soldier of society to being a unique individual. It means disappointing people. It means risking your reputation as a sensible person. It means accepting that you might be a beginner again. Remember Thomas, the accountant? He didn't quit his job. Not yet, but he started getting up an hour early. He started writing bad, messy stories. He didn't show them to anyone. He didn't try to sell them. He just wrote. For that hour, he was not an accountant. He was a creator. And slowly, the color started to come back into the world. The wine at night became less necessary. The leaden weight in his chest lifted. He had opened a window in his prison cell. You will implement this sacred hour. You must carve out time, even 20 minutes a day devoted to an activity that serves no practical purpose other than the joy of your soul. Learn an instrument. Draw. Walk in the woods without a podcast. Write poetry. Your ego will scream, "This is a waste of time. We have work to do." The ego will protest. Let it. This is not a hobby. This is oxygen. You are standing at the threshold. Behind you is the safe, gray prison of your success. Ahead is the terrifying, colorful chaos of your real life. Most people will stay in the waiting room. If you won't, right? My life begins now. There is one final trap the ego will set for you. It is the trap of someday. I will write that book. When I retire, I will travel. When the kids are grown, I will be happy. When I have $1 million. This is the ultimate procrastination. It is a bargain with death. You are promising to live later in exchange for being safe now. But later is not guaranteed. And even if it comes, you will be too old, too tired, and too set in your ways to change. The provisional life is a waiting room for a train that never arrives. Jung taught that life is not a linear progression. It is a circle. The second half of life is not for achieving more of what you achieved in the first half. It is for reclaiming what you left behind. If you are in the afternoon of your life, you cannot live by the morning's rules. We cannot live the afternoon of life according to the program of life's morning, for what was great in the morning will be little at evening, and what in the morning was true will at evening have become a lie. Carl Jung. You must perform the deathbed audit. Close your eyes. Imagine you are 90 years old. You are on your deathbed. You look back at your life as it is right now. You stayed in the job. You never wrote the book. You never took the trip. You stayed safe. How do you feel? Do you feel proud? Or do you feel a screaming regret? Open your eyes. You have a time machine. You are back in the present. You can change the ending, but only if you act today. You have been trying to solve the problem of your life with the same mind that created it. You thought the answer was more, but the answer is deep. The emptiness is not your enemy. It is the space where your soul is waiting to be born. The great liberating truth is this: you do not have a life. You are life, and life demands to be lived, not managed. You are no longer a prisoner of success. You are an apprentice of your own soul. This is your code of resurrection. Stop waiting. Realize that someday is a lie. There is only now. Valid the pain. Your anxiety is your compass. Follow it to the source of your betrayal. Feed the soul. Commit to the sacred hour. Do things that make no sense to your ego. Risk being a fool. Be willing to be a beginner. Be willing to be imperfect. Be willing to be real. The world is full of walking ghosts. Successful, polished, empty shells. Do not be one of them. It is better to be a messy, flawed, alive human being than a perfect corpse. The waiting room is closed. Your name has been called. If you are ready to claim your unlived life, write, "I choose to live" in the comments below. Most people will never live the life they were meant for. Now you know why. Subscribe to the Shadow Codex. Your training has just begun.